Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Scotswood PaleoZoo. And this time around we have a speed build video for once. In this video, I'll be building a habitat for the Scelidosaurus. These unique early Jurassic dinosaurs are one of the oldest species of thyreophorans that we know of, and this is the group of dinosaurs that includes Stegosaurus as well as the recently added Ankylosaurus. Now, while the neighboring Plesiosaurus habitat was meant to be vast and open, and all of the backstage stuff is kind of obscured by rock walls and the grass and so on, I wanted to make the Scelidosaurus habitat to be a lot more dense and foliated, while also the backstage and infrastructure being more visible. And the reason why I did that is simply because I'm trying to emulate the feeling you get at a real zoo as much as possible, and I was inspired by my recent visit to the Houston Zoo, where you have some of these wonderful habitats where you don't see any of the backstage, like the Pontanal exhibit for the giant river otters, as well as the mixed species area for all of the South American creatures like capybaras, anteaters, and I believe a Barrett's tapir as well, and some birds too. Like their habitat, you don't really see any of the backstage stuff, but then I also got to see the new pygmy hippopotamus that came to the Houston Zoo, and you can definitely see some of that backstage, so I wanted to incorporate that in this habitat. This habitat specifically for the Scelidosaurus was inspired a lot by pygmy hippopotamus habitats in different zoos, including the Houston Zoo, as well as the Houston Zoo's new and very critically acclaimed Galapagos region. I especially loved how lush and planted the giant tortoise habitat was, and so I wanted to bring some of that here. And I also got some inspiration from just botanical gardens too, so you'll notice that with the guest viewing area, I'll have some certain plants that are added there to kind of spice it up a bit. And with this shaded viewing area, I wanted it to go slightly over the pond, and my reasoning behind that was I kind of wanted to feel like, instead of just viewing the habitat from the side, separated by the barrier fence, I wanted an opportunity for the guests to feel like they're actually going into the habitat too, and get a little bit closer to the animals than they normally would. And for the design, I definitely went for sort of a safari-esque vibe with the thatch roof and the wooden pieces, and I really felt like it went really well with the custom fence I had already made. Now, the final exhibit name I settled on for this area is Scelidosaurus Springs, and I wanted the waterfall and the pond to be the focal point of this habitat. There's even an implied water filtration system in the backstage area, which I got off the Steam Workshop, and I kept the water shallow as Scelidosaurus probably waded through streams rather than swimming long term, and unlike concrete ponds, I was actually more inspired by natural pond looks similar to the alligator section at the Houston Zoo that I saw, where instead of your classic concrete pond, they had a more natural looking pond with that was overgrown with plants, and I thought that better suited these animals. But if I do make another large water feature for any of the animals in this zoo, I probably would go for the more concrete look you would see in elephants or rhino habitats or even hippo habitats, for instance. You'll also notice that I used the new cable fences that came to the game in the most recent patch, as I feel like they're perfect to build with, and they are especially perfect for this build, and I even used them as barriers for some of the vegetation. So there's spots where I have a lot of dense bamboo growing, and I decided to just circle that with some of the fencing, because I did see at the Houston Zoo's elephant exhibit, they circle some of the plants with fencing to keep the animals from getting into it. But yeah, overall, I had a lot of fun. Overall, I had a lot of fun bringing this habitat to life, as I felt like I really leaned more and more heavier into, beautifying it with foliage. But yeah, overall, I had a lot of fun bringing this habitat to life. I felt like this was a lot more fun to build with. I especially loved being able to, lean heavier into having lots of beautiful foliage and have the foliage be part of a draw to this exhibit. And as I mentioned before, I kind of wanted this exhibit to have not just a sense of realism with the backstage being more visible than for some of the more quote unquote exciting exhibits, but also, going for that almost botanical garden vibe for this habitat. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. Let me know in the comments what you guys feel about this habitat, And also, before I forget, the names of the two Scelidosaurus in this habitat are Pinecone and Ashley, respectively. So yeah, enjoy the rest of the speed build. Alright guys, and this is the live portion of the video. Now, I didn't make this sign during the speed build, and there's actually quite a few things during the speed build I didn't make, including the exhibit next door, which I won't show you guys till next episode. But yeah, this is Scelidosaurus Springs. I used two different types of text here, and I really wanted to give like a kind of like a watery vibe. So you have this like bright blue on the top, and then this more this is a Stone Age text, and I kind of liked it because it looked more like a ink splatter, so it gives it that like splashy look. And then of course we have our little Scelidosaurus sign here. I actually want to go in and change this real quick though. I think I want this to be brighter. Let's see. A little bit brighter. Yeah, I actually think the brighter blue works better here than what I had originally. Okay, so yeah, there we go. That's the Scelidosaurus spring sign. But before that, let's just go ahead and take our little tour of the exhibit without trying to spoil too much there. Alright. So you walk down this way, you get your first view of the enclosure. You can see our two Scelidosaurus over there. And then right over here, there's this little hidey spot. It's the newly introduced rustic redwood log piece. So there's like some little hiding spaces here. And I was inspired by the Houston Zoo, their Galapagos tortoise exhibit, because they give their tortoises a lot of outdoor and semi-indoor spaces to hide in and whatnot. And then of course we have the plants that are blocked out with the fencing here. Alright, so let's continue on and try not to spoil too much. We see one, I think that's Ashley going back there. Yep. I wonder if we'll get one this will. Okay, so we have... I forgot what his name was. Pinecone. Yeah, so we have Pinecone and Ashley here. And this is wow, the waterfall, it ended up coming out a lot better than I expected it to. I didn't add, now because of how the water currently works, I know they're still working on maybe trying to fix it down the line, but with how water reflections work, you don't really see pieces in the water that well. So what I actually did for the waterfall was use the waterfall effects and then color them blue, as well as like paint snow under it, and that really helps sell the look. In fact, a lot of people, I believe in Jurassic World Evolution 2, they use snow brushes to give the effect of waterfalls, but in this game we don't really have to do that. But we can do that in addition to having actual waterfall effects. So yeah, let's continue. And yeah, I love this so much. This is such a great view. I'm guessing they're gonna go have a snack, but I guess that's another opportunity to check out the Backstage ones again. But, wow, this is so great. I love that even though the Backstage is much more viewable than it was with the Plesiosaurus habitat, I feel like the waterfall feature, all the vegetation, and just standing under this nice gazebo with the sign, or I guess, I don't know if this is a gazebo, but just standing under this shaded, kind of like tiki safari hut vibe thing. So nice. Oh man, it sucks that they left, but I mean, we can still appreciate this. We can still appreciate this exhibit well. And you know, if you're lucky, you might catch a glimpse of a Plesiosaurus walking back and forth. Oh, speak of the devil, there is one on his way. I think it's Pepper. Yeah, it's Pepper. Look at him. See, isn't that cool? It'd be way cooler if they were here. Oh yes, perfect. Yeah, as soon as I said that, Scelidosaurus walks out. But yeah, you got such a cool view of both animals from this habitat, and I just love that. So that one's Ashley. Yeah, we'll just chill out and watch these guys a little more. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.